guys, it's Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner. Today I'm going to be using the Not Too Shabby Shop Box of the Month to make another cute card. This time we're using the Meet Me in Wonderland section of the Box of the Month. So in that part of it, it's basically the Box of the Month had two complete themes in there. One of them was all movie night and super adorable. I've already made a video on that. I'll leave a link up here in the cards and down in the description for you guys. But also there was this one that is Meet Me in Wonderland that has all of these cute Wonderland, Alice in Wonderland themed themed pieces. We've got the pattern paper, we've got the ephemera, we've got the fun cool stamps, actually two stamp sets. One is full of all of those. I love all of these sentiments. They are all crazy, but they are all basically straight from the books and everything. So I think these are super cute. And then we've got the, of course, adorable pattern paper pack. I have not decided what I'm gonna do yet, but let's go ahead and start making a card or two. So I've gotten out all of my ephemera because I think that's where I want to go with the first of the cards using this set. I mean, I know I'm going to be using the stamps a lot because they're just too darn cute, right? And I like this pattern here. This one, all of the papers on here, none of them have anything that flakes off. It's actually a print of a digital, but it looks gold. It looks gilded. I think that's pretty. And I do have my gold. This one is Gold Rush Lunar Paste from Simon Hurley that I can use along with it, and or I've got my Gansai Tambi watercolors, starry colors that I can use too, so those would be great on whatever color cardstock I decide to use. So now I have to decide, what do I want to put together? I think I do like the cards that I did for yesterday's hop, where they've got basically two pattern papers and they complement and contrast with one another. So this one, I love all of that detail, but I think I'm going to use the other one that's in the pack. There is a second one that is very similar that has, instead, it's got this diamond pattern behind the script. So I think I'm going to use that one. And then on the back, we've got this bit. Not 100% sold on that one, but I do like this, so I could just use the one piece. So let's go ahead and start kind of auditioning our parts, our pieces here. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Let's take those off. I'm going to trim this guy down so it's going to be good for the front of my card panel. And I do want to keep a lot of that script, but it's okay to have it kind of off. So if I do cut it in half, I'll have basically a diagonal and have the script either in the center or in the bottom. I think I'm going to go with that. Luckily, there are 4 of each pattern, so you can definitely do more than one. So I've got that, and then let's see, what do we have in here that is red? Or maybe I will go with blue, because I think there's more blue in here than red. Yep, I'm going to go with the blue. Now let me take out my card base. This gives me basically, this is my canvas, so I know what I'm doing. So we've got that. I could have it down here at the bottom. I have it at the bottom and then have some of the blue up here. To be honest, I do like the way I did the other card. It looked really nice, just having those two contrasting pieces. But if I do that, then the words are going to be covered up by my dress, because I kind of want the dress to be down at the bottom. Okay, so if I have this on that side and then over here, that I think could work, as long as I put something behind her like in red. And then we will use that guy there. Okay, I think that is what I'm going to go with. Okay, so let's go first and trim off about 1 inch from this pattern. Now I already know that with a 3-inch, with the 3 inches that I used on the other, that 1 inch off of this is going to be fine. So I'm going to trim it, just trim 1 inch off of the edge. And then I'm going to trim both of them down to 5 1/4. And think I want the script to be a little bit higher, so I'm going to trim a little bit off of the top. So cutting that one down to 5 1/4. This other one doesn't really matter which side I cut. And then I'll get out my art glitter glue and start gluing down the background. So just adding some art glitter glue to the back. And then positioning it down so we've got that little bit of white along the edge. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same kind of thing with this one. And I think I want to go... Doesn't really matter. With this pattern, it is busy enough and there's not really any rhyme or reason like going down the rabbit hole. So I'll just put it on down and then we can trim off. This should not need to trim off, but I can put that down and line it right up against my other piece of card. And there we go. So now we've got our background done, and then I can have my dress about here. Yeah, it's still going to work. I'm thinking I probably should have positioned it a little bit differently, but that is fine. And then some red, a pop of red out to the side. We're going to have the watch across the front. And I'm debating whether or not I want this. I think this is going to be a little bit too much, so I'm not going to use that. But we do have a spot up here where I can add a sentiment. And so I don't forget where I have everything, I'm going to grab out my press and seal. And just tack that down. That's going to keep all of my pieces positioned right where I want them, so it's going to be easier for me to add them when I get done with the sentiment, because I'm going to be smart on today's card. I'm going to put the sentiment down before I start popping everything up. So just laying that there so I have an idea where it is. And then we've got these big, big, big sentiments. So now I need to decide what is going to fit in that spot, because I think they all would be awesome. Okay, those who don't believe in magic will fit perfect. I'm not crazy. My reality is a little different than yours. That one, I have to go with that. That is too cute, but it would fit. I think some of these would go behind the dress a little bit, but not much. So any of those would actually work. But I think I'm going to go with the one that says, I'm not crazy. My reality is different. Okay, let's go ahead and take that off. This is going to make it also, because I'm doing it before I adhere these guys down. It means that I'm going to be able to pop them up nicely, and I'm going to be able to use my Misty, which is awesome. So I'll put that up there. Now, the colors on here, I think I may want... Do I want a pop of red there? And then I can also add some sequins or something to it. I do have those heart-shaped sequins that I don't use quite often enough. I can say that because I've only had them for a couple of years and I'm not starting to run low on them at all yet. So here we go. And make sure, I also don't know, I should probably test that. I have not stamped on any of the Not Too Shabby Shop cardstocks, so I don't know how well they do. So let me take just a little piece of a scrap here of the cardstock, and I'm gonna stamp out this little guy that says "Drink Me," and it's trying to stick to my fingers as usual. These are brand new stamps, and they do have a little bit of a coating on them from manufacturing. So let's see if I can rub a little bit of that off, and maybe I'll get a better impression. And then I'm going to use the Color Hive telephone box. This is a what? Maybe I should use a different ink. My thought is, because this is a water reactive, it may smear easier. So I'm going to use my Gina K amalgam ink. I was thinking of using, like I said, one of the others, but I'm a little concerned that they might smear easily, and I don't want it to smear. So I'm adding some ink to my stamp, and let's see how this does. The stamping isn't really the question. The question is whether or not it's going to dry well and not smear. Okay, I need a little bit more ink, I think, so I need another round. Do that one more time. And of course I moved it. That sucks. But it doesn't look like it's smearing. So that is the part that I really wanted to test. So that means let's go ahead and put my card in my MISTI right into the corner, making sure it is definitely in the corner. And then I'm going to make sure that this is in the right direction. I am not crazy. Put that right up there. And again, I'm going to pull up my images here and see if it's in about the right spot. Okay, I'm going to say that that is about right. Moving up just a touch. And if my dress goes a little bit over it, I don't mind. But one other thing I do want to do is I want to take a good look at it and make sure that it is lined up pretty straight the way I want it. And it does look like it's straight. That is awesome. Okay, let's put this back in there, right up in the corner. The reason I wanted to make sure is because it is easy to shift. And I don't want to mess up this card front now that I've got the paper already adhered down, right? I'm going to stamp that down. That looks pretty good. Let's go with another coat of ink. Okay, so that looks good. So I'm going to say that my front is done. It does look like that ink is needing to dry a little bit, so I'm going to give it a second. I'm probably going to hit it with my heat gun to set it. So next I'm going to add my foam to the back of all of my bits over here. So all of those ephemeras are basically going to be one big piece. So I'm going to add a little dimension by popping it all up on foam, because I love foam. And I'm using my foam tape from Amazon. This is some Scotch foam tape. And that's what I'm using at this point. I may wind up switching to a different type at a future date. I don't know for sure yet, because I've got some things I want to try. And the prices have really gone up on this specific foam. Now, it may be more expensive, less expensive, whatever, than some of the others, but I'd still like to give those a try. And I have some other stuff in my stash that I kind of need to use up, right? Use what you got. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove those. Again, all of this is on a piece of press and seal. So this is Glad press and seal. First time I heard about that was from Jennifer McGuire, because her husband invented it. I don't think he knew that he was inventing a craft supply, but she uses this a lot in her videos and on her cards as well. It is so useful because it'll hold all of your pieces in place, so that you can get them back down in the same exact position, you know, for when you kind of made up your mind that, yes, I like that. I mean, you could always do what I tend to do, and that is seat in my pants. I figure out something I think I like, and then I move everything out of the way, and then I have to try to recreate it, and it never goes back in the same spot it was before, right? Okay, let's take all of those pieces of release paper off. And then grabbing my art glitter glue, I'm going to put this on the back of these in case I want to move it around a little bit, because even though this has got everything in the right spot compared to each other, I probably won't get it lined up exactly the way I wanted when I put it down this time. It should be fairly close, but that glue is going to help me to be able to shift it around if I need to. Now, first thing, I know I want the bottom of my skirt to be close to the edge. And I think I'm going to tip it a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. And just press that down. Okay, and then I'm just going to gently pull my press and seal off. Now, if you don't rip it, you can use it again, which is nice. I'm just going to fold it onto itself, and that's fine. Okay, so we've got that. And that in and of itself looks good. I think I may, yeah, I want the key. So for the key, I'm just going to put that one down flat. So let's add a little adhesive to the back of the key. And I think that'll look good there. And then I'm going to take out some of my heart confetti from Target. Yeah, this stuff I've had for at least 2 years. I think I got it to craft with around Valentine's Day 2 years ago, and I still have not used it all up. Let's add a pop of color to the white area on her dress. Oh, this is pretty. And add a couple more up here. And I have to say, I am loving this design. Let's have the last one be gold. Okay. And I got a little bit of glue on top. Luckily, this stuff does dry clear and matte, so that means that once it's dry, I can wipe that little bit off of there because I want some shine, right? I want to keep the shine from my little confetti pieces. So that is going to finish up this card video for the Not Too Shabby shop. You guys be sure to check out this playlist over here to see some more card videos where I'm using Not Too Shabby shop products, including the hop video that just went up yesterday. Be sure to pay attention to the hop because there's going to be prizes and stuff too, so check out the description over there. Be sure to do that. Anyway, be sure to check out that playlist, and we'll see you later. You guys have a wonderful day, and remember, if I can make it, you can too.